Okay, this is a quick little video on how to find the databases on the Student Learning Hub. You will sign in like you normally do, find our school, find your grade level, and then you will find your teacher. From there, you'll notice that on the outside margins, you have library resources. Whether you are on an iPad, a desktop, or a laptop, you always want to look for the library resource tab. And then all the way down are some really great resources that you can use whenever you're creating anything. Research, looking for images, trying to get to Discovery Ed. You've got all of your information here. My main objective is to show you how to get onto Mac and VIA. So once you click on Mac and VIA, you can use the generic username and password, which is not case sensitive, so you do not have to worry about capitalizing anything. Once you're on the databases, it's going to look like this. If you do not see something that starts with American Indian histories and cultures, please make sure that the databases option has been selected. You have all of these choices to choose from. Once you've launched Gale Resources, you have all these options to choose from. The best one, after about 45 minutes of trying to prepare to get ready for you, I have found that will help you find any information about Texas railroads, cotton, or cattle, is Student Resources in Context. You're welcome to try any of the other ones that you see. Academic OneFile may be of help, and General OneFile may be of help, but the best one I've seen, Student Resources in Context. Okay, from here you're going to type in your main search, which is Texas. You want to stick to your options across the top. Reference will allow you to get factual information. Images are, of course, if you need any pictures. And primary sources are a first-hand account of whatever search term you have. For this, probably best option would be reference. And then once you're here, you're going to go to search. This should launch all of the information that Student Resources in Context has about Texas. Now you'll notice that you have Texas as a main search. The next thing you need to do is take your secondary search and type it into the limit field. So if you're doing railroad, cotton, or cattle, we're going to try railroad, and everything that's in Student Resources in Context under Texas, and it has to do with railroads, will give you the results right here. So now you have 119 pieces of reference information to choose from that has to do with Texas and railroads. Another good thing to do is expand this list right here, and you can see all the subcategories that you have to do with Texas and railroads. So you can even narrow down your searches even more. Whenever you're on Student Resources in Context and you find what you would like, you're going to click on the actual title. And from here, you'll notice that the search terms that we use, like Texas and railroad, they would be found in red. This might help for you to scan for information that you need instead of reading the whole entire article or reading the beginning of the article and thinking that's not what you were looking for after all. So I suggest you go all the way down to the bottom and look for those red highlighted words. That will probably help in your search. If you do like the particular article you found in Student Resources in Context, you have a couple of options on the right-hand side. And one of the things that I've learned is saving never works. You can save it temporarily, but once you go away from the actual site, it will not be there when you come back. So downloading it, if you need to download it, or emailing it would be the most efficient way to ensure that you have the information when you need it. If you download it, you'll have to save it to your student drive. And if you email it, you'll have to send it to your Gmail account. Either way, it's the best way to kind of hold on to the information long term. Okay, the last thing you need to remember, if you are using information from the internet or from the databases, you need to cite where the information is coming from. So the databases has a built-in citation maker. If you find an article that you like and you would like to either reference that article, report from that article, or quote that article, you need to make sure that you cite the article. So I want to use information from Annexation, Civil War, and Reform. If I use anything from here all the way down to the bottom, I need to make sure I cite my article. That's what the citation tool is for. You need to click on that, and then all you have to do is write down this information here. You can ignore the URL portion of it, but make sure you pay attention to your quotation marks. Make sure you pay attention to your punctuation. If it has a comma, you need to put a comma. If it has a colon, you need to put a colon. So all of this information right here either needs to be copied if you're doing a digital citation, or if you're going to handwrite it, make sure you handwrite it as you see it. The next resource I want to talk to you about is called American West. You'll have to get back out and all the way out of Gale Resources. There's Gale right down there. You're going to have to go all the way up to the American West. The American West is like a repository of primary resources. So that means like documents and manuscripts and journals and maps and illustrative material that has been scanned into the computer. So there's some really rare documents that they have on there that has to do with westward expansion and Native American tribes. You might find it very entertaining after you've done all your research about how the Texas cattle, railroad, and cotton industry kind of shaped Texas and the West. Okay, once you're on American West, you have a search field that you could type in. I would connect both of your searches: Texas Railroad, Texas Cotton, and Texas Cattle. So we'll try cattle. Once you're here, you're going to notice that they've got columns. You can also filter your results if you want just diaries or maybe a pamphlet or just an illustration. Or you can just kind of go through here and see which one of the things best suits your needs. So you'll notice that the row will tell exactly what the subject matter is. So there's cattle ranches, grazing and trails, there's agricultural development, all kinds of things. So we'll stick with The Life of Tom Candy. So this is actually a digital copy of a book that was published a long time ago. And then you can get certain pages that you can actually read, and you can see the original copy. You can double click on it to blow it up and you can read it, so you can see a first-hand account, maybe fictionalized, maybe factual, of what life was like in a certain time in history in the state of Texas.